All right, guys, we are live for How to Book Malguli style. Now, I've never done a live reaction. Well, not a live. Well, I've done live reaction. I'm sorry. I've never done a live How to Book before. Never done it before. And I think it's time that I do a How to Book because, well, for number one, it needs to be done. And number two, it needs to be done. And number three, it needed to be done. My learning how to book is basically me as a fantasy booker, and it is my job to basically where I see where something's wrong with WWE, and I try to book everything that in my power just to, make it better, make it way better than what it is. The Raw Tag Team Division. Now, oh man, what to say? The Raw Tag Team Division is a joke. It was a joke until recently on Monday Night Raw, where Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler won the championship on Monday Night Raw. But I still say it's a little bit bad because at the same time, we all figured, and it's gonna happen, guys. It's gonna happen. So be prepared. It's gonna happen. They are going to lose those belts to the Shield, Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. You cannot come up here and say, "Oh, they're not going to lose. They're not going to lose to the Shield." Yeah, they are probably going to lose to the Shield. So, here's what we're going to do for the Raw How to Book Tag Team Division. This is how it's going to go out. I am going to let you guys know this right now. There will not be a Shield reunion here on this. There will not be the B team on this. Well, technically, we will use one member of the B team, and that will be the one and only Bo Dallas, but we'll get to him later. And also, I will try to my best to also bring in a new tag team. So, without further ado, I have until, let's start from the booking of Backlash all the way to WrestleMania. So without further ado, sit back, relax, join me for this live version of How to Book Episode 4, the Raw Tag Team Division. So, ready, set, go. We start off with, after WrestleMania, because it's after WrestleMania, we have, of course, Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt. They are a tag team, and they are about to feud with The Bar. And I actually thought that was actually good. I will probably keep that on there. But we will not, and I repeat, we will not, and I mean this without a shadow of a doubt, will not have them win it at the Greatest Royal Rumble. Actually, we're going to have them actually face off against The Bar at Backlash, because I'm going to let you know now, The Bar will go to SmackDown Live. I think they're better on SmackDown Live. They don't need to be on Raw. So, around Backlash, Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt, they won the Raw Tag Team Championships. Good start for them, and also we'll give them a lengthy title reign at the Greatest Royal Rumble. You can have what they have there, but no comedy, no, make it serious. Have Matt and Bray retain the tag team titles. So we've passed Backlash, we passed the Greatest Royal Rumble. I'm sorry, I should have not started from there. I should have started off away from the Greatest Royal Rumble, but I had to get that out there. I did not like the fact that they won it at the Greatest Royal Rumble. I believe they should have won it at Backlash, but that's just me. And the Bar loses their rematch clause. So now we're into, let's say, the next pay-per-view. Was it Money in the Bank? Was it Money in the Bank, or was it or was it? Yeah, I think it was Money in the Bank. We'll go with Money in the Bank. So, or no, sorry, Battleground. It's fantasy booking. So yeah, Battleground, and it's live. So at Battleground, a number one contenders match on Raw to determine the new number one contenders for Matt and Bray's Raw Tag Team Championships. So what we're going to do here, we're going to add up the following teams, a fatal four-way. We're going to have the Revival, we're going to have Heath Slater and Rhino, we're going to have the Titus Worldwide, and the Ascension. Fatal four-way for the Raw Tag Team, for the number one contender shot at Battleground for the Raw Tag Team Championships. So out of it all, it's elimination style. The first team to get eliminated will be actually Titus Worldwide. Now, Titus Worldwide will get eliminated. Second will be the Revival. So now it's up to the Ascension and Rhino and Slater. And by a miscue by Heath Slater, because Heath Slater's a goofball, the Ascension wins. So yeah, I would have the Ascension win the number one contender fatal four-way tag team match. And they cut a promo after the match on Bray and Matt Hardy saying that no matter how woken or whatever, they will travel to the wasteland. So at Battleground, the match is set for um for Battleground, the match is set up for, and I think it was Extreme Rules, but the match is set up to this. It is the Ascension versus Woken Matt and Bray Wyatt. And actually, we're gonna actually give the Ascension a little bit of a push. We're gonna actually push them just a little bit. They actually take it to Bray and Matt, but Bray and Matt overcome. They retain the tag team championship. The next night on Raw, the Ascension come out. They said that they felt like they had them beat. They had the Hardys, not the Hardys, Broken Matt and Bray Wyatt beat. So they decide to do this. They get another shot at the tag team titles, and of course Bray and Matt, they do their thing, and basically we'll go from there, and they just basically get a rematch, and they lose again. So the Ascension lose, and then you can also add with Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler as a tag team. You can still do that. Yeah, you can still do that here. Why not? Why not make them a tag team here? So we're also going to use them for this, and also just to also charge the fat at background. So at Battleground. So at the next pay-per-view, which I believe it is Money in the Bank, the next tag team that Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt face will go to let's go to the Revival. The Revival does take on Matt and Bray. And of course, Broken Matt, Broken Bray, they're trying to take all their elements. They're this face tag team. Why not you guys have them beat the Revival? But the Revival give them much of a fight, but also they give way up to, let's say, kayfabe. Matt Hardy has a knee injury, because I think it was around this time Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt were starting to fall off and lose to a childish tag team known as the B Team. We don't want to do that here. So what we're gonna do is have the Revival basically take it to Matt and Bray, but like there's a part where kayfabe Matt Hardy has a knee injury after the match. They still win the tag team titles. They're still retaining, and it looked like Matt Hardy's knee is hurting him. But then of course, we get Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre coming down and beating the living hell out of Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy, and that feud goes to Extreme Rules. I know that Dolph Ziggler was in his feud with I'm sorry guys, I cannot talk. With Seth Rollins, but instead we'll not give it to him. We'll give it to none other than have his feud with Kevin Owens. Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens can give you money for that, and we don't really need Dolph to compete for the Intercontinental Championship. We want him and Drew McIntyre to be a tag team. Let them establish themselves as a tag team. And so far, they have beaten also from weeks and weeks out beating the Ascension. They beaten the Fashion Police. They beaten all these young tag teams and also some jobber tag teams. And they also make a promo the next night on Raw why they attack Bray and Matt Hardy. So that match goes to Extreme Rules. You have Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy basically making promo saying, like, you be careful of bringing the devil inside to your drawer. Drew and Dolph, our fireflies and our woken brilliance will delete you. And then we got the matches set for the Raw Tag Team titles. And it is the first match on the card. It was supposed to. And then we'll get to this. It'll be like a, let's say, a tornado tag, because every match at Extreme Rules need to have a stipulation. Not just every match has a singles match like this one had. So at Battleground, it is at battle not Battleground, at Extreme Rules, it is the Raw Tag Team Champions Matt and Bray versus Dolph and Drew McIntyre. And with their Claymore, they hit Matt Hardy in the knee, and then of course they do that Claymore zigzag move. 1, 2, 3. We get new Raw Tag Team Champions and and Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler. So the next night on Raw, which will be also for the next pay per view, and that would be SummerSlam. Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy, they want their rematch. They want their rematch, and you know the build to that rivalry between Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre, that can lead up to SummerSlam. But on Raw, they get their tag team title rematch, Matt and Bray, and then they lose it by disqualification because they win by disqualification. But the feud is just so hot and bothered, and also this was at the point where Matt Hardy was, I guess, was playing retirement. So we're gonna add to that in the story, where Matt Hardy's knee is starting to be a problem, and it's starting to be his Achilles heel. So basically, at SummerSlam, Kurt Angle makes a tag team match. It's Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler defending their Raw tag team titles against Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy at SummerSlam. But the stipulation here is this: whichever man from that team gets pinned must leave the WWE, or must leave Raw in general. And of course, Drew McIntyre and Ziggler retain their tag team championships, and they retain their tag team titles. And out of nowhere, you get that standing ovation with Matt Hardy because the writing's on the wall, and Matt Hardy is basically looking at Bray Wyatt and basically whispering to Bray Wyatt's ear, saying at the end, saying like this: I've taught you everything that I have known for. I want you to delete, bring back your old Wyatt from my brethren. Matt Hardy speaking riddles to Bray Wyatt. And at the end, it does look like we're going to get that send off from Matt Hardy. Bray Wyatt, he does look at Matt Hardy. He does shakes his head. He nods his head. And then it looks like Matt's about to leave the ring until Bray Wyatt hits Sister Abigail onto Matt Hardy and looks at Matt and carries him by his head and say, I will follow the buzzers, and I will delete for you, bro, my brother Matt, my brother Woken Matt. So there you write Bray Wyatt off of TV, because you do that Wyatt, and Bray Wyatt has disappeared. Matt Hardy is unconscious, and he starts to gain back his feed, and then Matt Hardy just basically, panders to the crowd and just shakes. So we're not making Bray heel. Bray just did it because they're both weird. Yeah, that way you can have him. So that way you get Bray Wyatt off of TV. The next night, Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler say, We they say they are the best tag team. They said they would challenge anyone for tag team dominance. They said that Broken Matt is gone. Bray Wyatt is gone. Your Woken Warrior deleter of worlds is gone. So they basically just have more to it with their bantering. And at Hell in a Cell, we get this match at Hell in a Cell, and this actually makes sense. And the team that actually challenge Matt Hardy, I mean not Matt Hardy, Drew and Dolph Ziggler, is none other than, believe it or not, the authors of pain. The authors of pain come out, and they basically just ramsack through Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre. And it looks like at the moment where you can have the feud with them. But I would not make the authors of pain heel. We're gonna make them neutral. I know they haven't been on Raw that much in WWE. I don't know what the hell you're doing with them. So why don't you um make them debut the day after SummerSlam? It actually works. The crowd will get hyped to them, and then let them go rampage. Let them beat the Ascension. Let them beat the Revival. Let them beat Jobber Tag Team so they get to Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler. So with that being said, you have at Hell in a Cell, they get the number one contender match. So it's the Authors of Pain versus Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler. And it looks like the Authors of Pain are going to win it. But Drew McIntyre hits, I think one of the Authors of Pain, I think his name is Akam, with the belt. And the ref sees it, disqualification. The Authors of Pain win, but they don't win the Raw Tag Team titles. Next at Super Down, that Australian show, Super Showdown show, what we'll have here, and this actually works out too in the long run. You have, and trust me, I think this will actually be good. You would have once again the Authors of Pain coming for the Raw Tag Team titles versus and Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler. And the match actually is a pretty good one. I actually trust both four men to actually put on a really, really good show here. And what would you see from WWE? And I think this is also like a first, and that is to well, you have this, and it actually works out for it. You would have Drew McIntyre and Dolph basically like being that heelish, fearful tag team. Like they can't get over the fact with the Authors of Pain. So what you do here at the Super Show, this will be the time the Authors of Pain will win the tag team titles. So with that being said, at the Australian show, that's gonna happen, I think, in October. I think is it in October? Yeah, it is in October. And October 6th. And basically what happens here is it looks like the once again the Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler are going to win the Raw Tag Team Championships, but they get distracted because on the Titantron you see like a church being built, a church being built, a church being built, a church being built. I know I'm saying that very, very a lot, a church being built, but you see a man basically making this church, making everything creepy, like a creepy imagery, and it distracts Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler well enough to distract them and make them lose the Raw Tag Team titles. So out of nowhere, 1, 2, 3, the Authors of Pain win the Raw Tag Team Championships. Thanks to a distraction by the Titantron, what was going on. Now, I'm going to go back a little bit at SummerSlam a little bit, because remember I said we were going to use Bo Dallas? Bo Dallas gets injured at SummerSlam. Like I said, the B team is not on Raw on my booking. They joined The Miz on SmackDown so they can refuel that rivalry between The Miz and Daniel Bryan. So with that being said, Daniel Bryan, let's say he running knees Bo Dallas, and Bo lands on a table, lands on a table, and he has to be carted out of the ring. And kayfabe hurt. So you get Bo Dallas out of the Miz garage and basically make him leave SmackDown. So to the point where we'll have him for Monday Night Raw, but not as his Bo Dallas persona. Keep that in mind. So basically, we get a new feud the next night after the Superstar Showdown. You get at the Superstar Showdown, you get this, and this actually works. You get on Raw the rematch between Dolph Ziggler and McIntyre against the Authors of Pain. And this time, the Authors of Pain win because, once again, that Titantron church, it distracts them again. And it leaves out messages saying, we're coming for you. So, once again, the Authors of Pain retain. So, the next night on Raw, the Authors of Pain, they take on like a jobber tag team. And now this is the point where you can make them heel because they are a really great heel tag team. To the point they take on a jobber squad and they win. So the next night also on Raw, because we're building up to Survivor Series, the Authors of Pain take on Chad Gable and not Jason Jordan, sorry, spoil, take on Chad Gable, and they face Chad Gable in the match, and 1, 2, 3, Arca, Hookah, or I don't really know their names, but I'm really bad with names for the Authors of Pain. One of the Authors of Pain member beat up Chad Gable, and Chad Gable wants a match with the Authors of Pain before the Raw Tag Team Championships. But Baron Corbin and Kurt Angle go out to him and say, "We can't make that. We can make that match happen. You have to find a partner." So at Survivor Series, it's the Authors of Pain versus Chad Gable and a partner of his choosing. And the partner that he picks is none other than Zack Ryder. Yeah, yes, Zack Ryder. Now, hold on. Hear me out for a minute. It looks like Zack Ryder is going to be the tag team partner, but nope. The Authors of Pain beat the hell out of Zack Ryder. And out of the blue, it looks like it's going to be a handicap match again. And why not make at Survivor Series, make that the first match of the night? Why not have the Authors of Pain defend the Raw Tag Team titles? And earlier on the pre-show, they attack Zack Ryder, and Zack Ryder is hurt. So basically, it's the Authors of Pain versus Chad Gable with it was supposed to be Zack Ryder, but Zack Ryder's hurt. So it looked like Chad Gable was going into this match as a handicap match. But out of nowhere, we hear that Generation of Greatness, yes, at Survivor Series, have Jason Jordan come out and help his partner, Chad Gable. You have American Alpha reunite at Survivor Series. Mark my words, that crowd will actually pop hard. To me, American Alpha should have never been broken up, and that stupid angle with with Kurt Angle, Jason Jordan, let's pretend that that didn't happen. So at Survivor Series first match, it's the Authors of Pain versus the return of American Alpha, and it looks like American Alpha is going to take the belts off the Authors of Pain, but with a chair, a good chair shot by the Authors of Pain, a disqualification, and the Authors of Pain retains the title. The American Alpha wins, but they don't win the title, but via disqualification. So the next night on Raw, the next night on Raw, it's the Authors of Pain versus American Alpha, and if American Alpha wins, they get another tag team title shot at Tables, Ladders, and Chairs. So, and also on Tables, Ladders, and Chairs, Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre is getting really close and fed up onto the person who keeps on giving them these more cryptic message saying they're coming for you. They keep on getting this promo of this person, this figure from a church, basically a message to them. So at tables, ladders, and chairs, we actually get the part. Sorry guys, because my phone is dying here. So we get to the point where that tables, ladders, and chairs, we will find out the person who's been sending Bray Wyatt and not Bray Wyatt, been sending Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler those cryptic messages. But now at tables, ladders, and chairs, it's a chairs tornado chairs tag team match for the Raw tag team titles. American Alpha versus the Authors of Pain for the Raw tag team titles. The Authors of Pain win by hitting their double power bomb on the chairs on American Alpha. Now I know that makes American Alpha look weak, but trust me, it doesn't really make them look weak here. But you have to also build the Authors of Pain to give them a lengthy title run. Trust me, you'll love the ending when it comes to American Alpha. So that happens there. So after on TLC, the promo still going on. Drew McIntyre and Dolph still don't know who's giving them cryptic messages until they said we will see you the next tomorrow night. So on Raw, that's the first segment. Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler come out to the ring, and they basically been saying for a month and a half now, they lost the Raw tag team titles a month and a half ago to the Authors of Pain um because of this book, this spooky type church or whatever. So basically, the church basically is complete. The promo shows the church being complete, but inside you see creepy little dolls basically on the ceiling. You see a bunch of blood writing on the walls. And then you also see, and this is a good one here, a whole jar of fireflies. And you also see, and this is a good one, a rocking chair. And then you see a man basically walking up to that walking chair and sitting down. It's all hooded up. And then when the hoodie is revealed, it's none other than Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt makes his return and does a promo, of course, saying, I've had to find someone, man. I haven't forgotten what you, Drew and Dolph did. You thought I would be lonely without my woken brethren, but you failed to differ. There's always this one same blood is thicker than water. And I had to find someone. I found a man who was and lost. So basically, Bray Wyatt basically saying he found someone to take care, to help him get his revenge on on um on Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler, and that person being none other than Bo Dallas. So yes, Bo Dallas is the new person, is the man that Bray Wyatt was talking about. So basically, Bray Wyatt says, me and my brother, we're here." So basically, the lights go back on, and then you see Bray Wyatt looking at Drew and Dolph, and then behind him is that mysterious figure that's Bo Dallas. Basically, Bo looks like his brother a little bit, make him dress like his brother a little bit in his early days, and then you have them beat the living hell out of Drew and Dolph Ziggler. So at the Royal Rumble, you can have that match, um, Bray Wyatt and Dolph Ziggler, Bray Wyatt and Bo Dallas versus Drew and McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler at the Royal Rumble, and that will be up from January, and that can be like a pre-show match. Also for the Authors of Pain, let them be in the Royal Rumble as also have American Alpha also in the Royal Rumble. So don't have the Raw Tag Team titles be defended at the Royal Rumble. You can actually, or if you do want to do this, you can also have at Raw Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler lose to Bray Wyatt and Bo Dallas, and then have Bray and Bo challenge for the Raw Tag Team titles, even though it is early, a little way too early to have them compete for that Raw Tag Team title for the Raw Tag Team titles. But what you would really do here, and this actually is a first, have Bray and Bo versus the Authors of Pain, but the match ends at a DQ at the Royal Rumble. So you can do that for the Royal Rumble, or you can have no Raw Tag Team title match at all and just have the Authors of Pain and everyone else, like the Authors of Pain and American Alpha in the Royal Rumble, and just have Bray Wyatt and Bo versus Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler at the Royal Rumble. But if you want to do that, you're not wrong. So here we'll go do, and I think it's Fastlane or the Elimination Chamber, or yeah, we'll say Fastlane. We'll do Fastlane in the Elimination Chamber. At Fastlane, it is Bray Wyatt versus Bray Wyatt and Bo Dallas against Bray and Bo against the Raw Tag Team Champions. They won the number one contender shot against Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler, getting their revenge. Basically, Bray Wyatt gets his revenge on Drew and Dolph, and Drew and Dolph get angry about it. And of course, you have American Alpha basically belittling, belittling and making fun of Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler to the point they get frustrated. So at the pre-show, you have American Alpha versus Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler. You can have that, and also for that, the Authors of Pain, it looks like once again they escape with the Raw Tag Team Championships again due to some shenanigans, and then you get to Elimination Chamber, and this is where it gets good. I don't think WWE hasn't done this in years, so why not Bray Wyatt and Bo Dallas, or we're calling him Bo Wyatt, the Wyatts versus the Authors of Pain in a boiler room brawl for the Raw Tag Team Championships. But the way how to win this match, I'm not gonna do like, oh, if you leave the boiler room, you win the match. No, you travel from the boiler room to the locker room, all the way to the ring. The titles are in this little cage banister. You unlock the cage banister, you win the Raw Tag Team titles, and I think this match could be a little more entertaining and a little bit hardcore because both men are very ruthless. The four men are very ruthless in the ring. So with that being said, you can have the Authors of Pain win this thanks to Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler's interference. And then you have American Alpha come out there to save the Wyatts. So at WrestleMania, at the first, I think this needs to be a thing because you got these four tag teams that have been on each other's throats. And this is what happens. You have Bray Wyatt, the Wyatts versus American Alpha versus Dolph Ziggler and McIntyre versus the Authors of Pain in a fatal four-way ladder match for the Raw Tag Team titles. And with us, and also since it's at WrestleMania, you have American Alpha win the Raw Tag Team title. So that's what I would do for the Raw Tag Team division. You get American Alpha reuniting. You get a new tag team in Bray and Bo Dallas. Bray Wyatt and Bo Dallas, calling them the Wyatts. You give Drew McIntyre a little bit of a short run, but you also give him also that heelish old school tag team vibe. And also, you give the Authors of Pain a very good lengthy title run. So that's what I would do, and that will do it for this live edition of How to Book. If you like this, please leave a comment, comment, and subscribe, and see what you would do different. Until next time, I am Mal Gooley, and I will see you again for another How to Book in the near future, probably for Kevin Owens or Dolph Ziggler, or just the Shield in general. And I will also see you guys again Sunday when I do a little bit of a thing for my NFL video. So until next time, thank you for joining me in this live reaction. And let me see. Mario is the boss. Say let Drew hold it for 5 months. I was gonna let them hold it for 5 months, but I want to make this Raw Tag Team division. But also having dropped to the Revival, I don't want the Revival to have the tag team titles yet. But you can also have the Revival come up, and you can also have the Ascension rise up to make those two tag teams, make it a six, the six top tag teams, and you can have that little comedy act with the Titus Worldwide comedy act of the Fashion Police. So that's how I would do it. So until next time, I will see you all again next time. Thank you for watching, and God bless you all, and I hope you all enjoy the video.